people who cut off their family, like, they have to think long and hard about it. Like, you lose a lot.
I'd rather keep it real with ya.
Hey guys, it's me, Meaning, back another video. Same shirt, same hair, same cool pants. Look at it. Look at them. A whole skeleton body. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Sadie, you brought a ball, Sadie? You got a ball? You want me to throw the ball? This is Sadie's ball. She likes this one and she likes the red one. I said, go get it. Go get it. Oh God, this girl. Oh God, let me fix this. Let me try to fix this. Okay, this is the best it's gonna do. Sorry. And fix that. Okay. Back to what I was saying. I'm gonna put my foot up and get a little comfortable. So I want to talk about a mental health thing today because I saw a video as I was doom scrolling Facebook and just in my feels and being emotional and stuff. And oh my God, will this video come up on my birthday? I might schedule this video to go up on my birthday. So if it does, happy birthday to me. Y'all know how I am about my birthday. Don't even remember how old I am. Don't remember how old other people are. But yeah, so I want to talk about something that was emotional because I saw a video as I was in my feelings and I was scrolling Facebook and I came across a video of a Black woman saying, there's a lot of misconceptions about people who cut off their family. One of which is that they think you're just a cold, heartless person who is just full of hatred. I'm not. I'm too tired to be full of hatred, honestly. My therapist be trying to make me angry and I just be like, and she'd be like, you should be madder. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. I just don't understand how people can be angry all the time. Like, being angry hurts. Like, my chest be hurting. I don't like that. But like, literally, like, people think that when you cut off your family, it's because you're harboring hatred, and if you just forgive them, you'll feel better because hatred only hurts yourself. And so I'm not harboring hatred. Yes, Sadie. I'm like, I'm not harboring hatred because I know that harboring hatred for people is like what you say, drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Like, me feeling anger and hatred literally makes me feel sick. And you could say it's a trauma thing from not being allowed to feel feelings from a young age, but I'm not somebody who holds hatred in my heart for anybody. It's very rare that I wish bad things on somebody. Like, usually if I don't like somebody or they've hurt me, I just wish for them to move out my way. Like, that's literally how I look at people. Like, if you are trying to get between me and happiness, I need you to get out the way. You can do whatever you want when you get out the way. I don't care. You can have whatever. You got a best perfect life ever. You could go win $1 million in the lottery. I don't care as long as you ain't in my way. And some people like to be in my way, and I don't understand. Sadie, what you knocking over stuff? And I don't understand why anybody wants to be an obstacle to someone else's happiness or success. It just doesn't make sense to me. I want everybody to win, you know, but like, I'm not going to be like holding space within my heart for that person and hoping something bad happens to them. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I believe karma happens to me and just me. I don't believe it happens to anybody else. All these stories about people being like, and they treated me terribly, and then the company shut down the next week, and I never get to see the people who hurt me get their comeuppance. I never get to see it. Best I can hope for is someone else saying that they had a similar experience to me, but that's not really a consequence for the other person. But yeah, that's one of the things that she said was a misconception about people who cut off their family. Another misconception I think that people have about people who cut off their family is that they are like misguided, like they don't understand fully what they're doing. Like it's like a naivety thing. Naivety. Like, I think I might have mentioned this before. I had mentioned something about wanting to leave my hometown and be far away from my family. Like, I just threw it out there. Like, man, I wish I could move to the other side of the country. Sadie, why are you looking at me like that? I love you too. I had met somebody who had moved across the country, and I was like, man, I wish. Thank you, thank you. I love you too. I love you too. You look so big in the camera, and you're not even 10 pounds. Okay, are you done putting holes in my shirt, Miss Claus? Miss Sadie Claus? Miss Sadie, catch these paws. Look, you see how it's plucking my shirt? That's how sharp her claws are. And then her claws will be this sharp like 2 weeks after I got them clipped. That's how quickly she sharpens these holes. Baby, you stabbing me in the belly. Well, I don't know if y'all can hear her purring or not. You gonna sit? Okay, I'm gonna try to continue what I was saying. Nope. We're still in pet time. Still in pet mode. Mm. Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay. The second misconception, I think, is that people think that you are like naive and being childish in a way, like you don't fully understand the consequences. I love you. I love you. You're messing up my allergies, though. Okay. They don't think you fully understand like the gravity of what you're doing. You know what I mean? See, how long have we been out there? Like it's been like 3 minutes of you doing this. Okay, die. Mm, 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 mm. How many kisses you need? There we go. Okay, sit over there. Okay. And so like I think I've talked about this before, but I had a situation where somebody talked about how they moved across the country and their family was in the old country or whatever. I mean the other side of the country. And I was like, oh man, I wish I could do that, move all the way across this country. No, no, no. And they were like, you think that you'll like that, but really you'll miss your family like a lot. And I'm like, nah, I don't think I would. I think I'd be pretty happy on the other side of the country. I've gone to the other side of the world and I had a great time and my family was not there. And she was like, you don't believe that. You think that right now, but trust me, when you actually try to do it, you're going to be crying because you're going to miss your family so much and you just don't know what you're talking about right now. Like right now it sounds cool, but like if you actually did it, you would know then that it's not like that. And I'm like, did you not hear me say I've been to the other side of the world and I was fine? Um, and I don't want to have to get into a whole like here's a list of all my childhood trauma so you can understand why it's actually a good thing for me to get away from my family. You know what I mean? But it's like people think that you're naive. They think that you are just saying this because you're young or you're dumb or you're inexperienced or whatever, and you're going to change your mind once you actually are in the thick of it. And that's just not true. Like, it's something people who cut off their family, like they have to think long and hard about it. Like you lose a lot when you cut off your family, especially when you're the young person in the family. Now, I have a coworker who she's a boomer and she didn't like cut off her family, but she moved 3,000 miles away from her family. And she's like the older person in the family. So for her moving away is like whatever. But me being so young and moving away, like I have aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, you know what I mean? Like all of these people who I just don't talk to anymore. That's a huge amount of people who could have been supporting me, who could have been there for me when I was down, who could have like maybe helped me move. If I had kids, they could have watched my kids. We could have went on a family cruise together. Like there's a lot of stuff you lose when you decide to not deal with your family no more. Not just your parents, the whole family. You lose a lot. You lose a support system. Like when I look around, I don't have a lot of things, honestly, but when I think about an ideal family, a non-dysfunctional family, and I look at friends that have that relationship, there's so much there. There's the I didn't get the job, so I called my dad so he could talk to me. He made me feel better. I don't get that. I don't get the I drove, 3 hours to another town to visit my brother and his girlfriend. I don't get that. Like I said, like family cruise, family vacation. I don't get that. Attending, family members' graduations, having them attend your graduation. I don't get that. What are some other good things that people get from their family? The I'm sick, so I'm gonna stay at my mom's house for a few days. I don't get that. The somebody to watch my pet. Like I saw a guy online talking about he drove 10 hours to his dad's state to stay in his house and watch his pets while he went on some like overseas trip. I can't fathom it happening, but in a world where people love you and they do for you, there's a lot of stuff that like having a family could do for you that you give up. And people don't understand that. Like people think that you don't realize that. It's always like, oh, but then one day you're gonna be in the hospital and you're gonna wish that you could call your sister or your brother or your mother or your father or your grandmother to come and see you. Like who's gonna visit you in the hospital? Nobody. My emergency contact is a coworker, a former coworker. You know what I mean? I have an advanced directive. That's the person who makes decisions when you are unconscious and not likely to wake up, and they decide if you live or die. Is a friend someone I met in college, and I trust them enough to follow they do legal stuff. So I know that they would actually follow the law and the rules that I put out in the paper. And it's not a random person by any means, but I trust them because I know that they are someone who follows the law. And if I have a paper saying do not resuscitate or whatever, they're going to follow that. They're not going to just make decisions willy nilly. But yeah, like I don't have like I just realized like the other day, like I had to go get another key made for my car because when I first got my car, my new car, not new, but a car that had a car note versus something that I got from a guy down the street. They gave you two keys. One of those keys is sitting at my mother's house. I don't know what it's doing. It's in a box somewhere. But she forced me to give her that key because in their mind it's like, oh, you want your mom to have a spare key, right? I had to go get another key made because I'm never getting that key back. Well, I'm not. That's just a loss for me, money wise. But like it's stuff like that, or people who their parents keep their documents, so they know that their documents are safe because their parents keep them, and stuff like that. Like, oh, my mom has my birth certificate, all type of stuff. And people think you don't understand that. People think that you don't realize how much you need your family. And so the second you actually do need them or you realize that, you're going to go back to them and you're going to rekindle that relationship. No. Like I said, thought long and hard about all the things that I'd be losing. Trust me, everyone made sure to tell me all the things that I would be losing as I was making this decision. It was not an easy decision. Everyone made sure to let me know everything that I could lose. But also, what people don't realize, people focus so much on all the good things that you could lose, they forget that there's a bunch of bad shit that you're walking away from. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the stuff that I described was stuff that happens with my friends who have functional relationships with their family. I don't have a lot of that. There was never a time when I was upset where I could call my dad to make me feel better. The times that I've sat there and cried in front of my dad, my mom, my sibling, and they pretended I didn't exist. Or in my dad's case, He just talked shit to me because he couldn't believe that I was up here trying to be emotional. He's not an emotional guy. And so if he sees you trying to get emotional, he's going to make you feel worse for thinking that you're going to sit up here and cry to him like that means anything to him. He does not give a fuck about your tears. You know what I mean? Like, I walked away from that. I walked away from having to deal with emotionally unstable people who love to get drunk, but also could not be trusted when they were drunk because they would go looking for a gun and they would threaten everybody in the house, including the children. I walked away from that. I walked away from the people who, when you were down, they kicked you harder. I walked away from the people who, whenever you had a good thing happen to you, they told you how it was going to go wrong. I walked away from people who were jealous of people who were doing even a little bit better than them and would try to sabotage them. Whether that meant talking to them, talking about them behind their backs, talking to their coworkers, trying to form a relationship with their boss and then talking crap about them, talking about you behind your back to your significant other, all of the backstabbing, all of the shadiness, all of the drug abuse, the alcohol abuse, the physical abuse, the emotional and verbal abuse. I walked away from that. And what this woman said in her video that I liked, that I agree with, is like, you are going to be missing out on something either way you go. And you're going to be sad. You're going to have a level of grief either way you go. And you have to choose which pain you're willing to live with. Do you want to live with the pain of, I have my family in my life, but they treat me so terribly that I'm depressed all the time and I have to be on medication and see therapy to keep me from jumping off the ledge? Or do you want the pain of, I'm not depressed, I don't have to be talked off the ledge every week, but I'm missing some of that support system that people get from their family, and I have to go build that support system with other people rather than just have it there for me like people who have family members? You have to choose which pain you're willing to deal with. It's still painful. And what spurred all of this was me thinking about the children in my family, the younger children in my family, because I was the youngest for a while. And then, my siblings and cousins started having kids, and thinking about, how my absence affects them, because I had family members who they walked away from the family. Now they came back when their life didn't go the way that they wanted it to, but ultimately they walked away from the family, and I felt really, really hurt by their absence. And I think about how I am also hurting the younger people in my family. Now, do I know for sure that it's hurting them? I have no idea. They're not going to be able to tell me until they're older. But I know it hurt me. So it could very well be hurting them. And that hurts me to know that I'm hurting them. That I have to walk away from that. And I have to deal with the pain of, I don't get to really watch them grow up aside from social media. And that's if their parents choose to post them on social media, and if their parents choose to allow them to be on social media. So an example, like, I don't know what my nephew looks like right now. It's been 2-3 years since I cut off my entire family. I don't know what he looks like. And that's upsetting. And I have multiple nephews. One of them literally was just born before I cut everybody off. So I don't know what he looks like. He doesn't know who I am. I've never held him like, you know what I mean? I have another nephew who I don't even know how old he is right now. Maybe he was 4 when I walked away from the family. He knew me then. He probably doesn't know me now. If he knows me now, I'd be surprised, because it would literally take effort on my family's part to remind them that I exist. Which they're very spiteful people. They wouldn't do that. And my sister sent me a picture of my niece, and she's like all dolled up like she's going to prom. And I was like, she's going to prom? How old am I? How old is she? Like, how long has it been? Like, I had a whole little mini freak out. And she's like, oh, no, 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 no. She's in middle school. I was like, oh my God. I'm thinking she's about to graduate high school. I'm like, I missed how much of time? But it's kind of like it's a middle school prom. And I'm like seeing these prom photos, and I'm just feeling emotional. And I'm just like, man, and I've tried to reach out, but you know how teenagers are. And I was like this too when I was teen. You know how teenagers are. They're like, whatever, like, they're not as eager to see you and talk to you as they were when they were like 10. But it's still like a very emotional thing because I have to think about the fact that I don't have the relationship with them that I used to. And I did give them like a speech before I went off to college about like, hey, I'm not about to be around and I'm sorry for that. And I do love you. Um, but I want to remind them of that. And I wish, there's only one person in my family who is my sister who respects the fact that I had to walk away. No one else respects the fact that I had to walk away. So the fact that my sister even shared those photos with me meant a lot. But I know that she's probably conflicted. I know that the kids are probably conflicted about whether or not they should even try to have some kind of relationship with me. Um, and then with me about to move, I'm about to move far. I'm about to move far away. My dream is not even like I'm going to like my dream location or nothing, but it's just like my dream was to move far away. And this is a big step for me to just like be gone. Um, but after I do that, I'm not going to be like my siblings or my family members who left the family and came back, or every few months or so they're just like back in town and they're kicking it with everybody. Like, no, bitch, I'm gone. You don't understand. When I give that key to my leasing office and we sign off on whatever paperwork we need to sign off saying I don't live there no more, baby, you ain't gonna see me step one foot back up in here. I have one friend in this town and they are considering whether or not they even want to stay here. So there's nothing for me to come back to. There's a lot of people I went to college with who just be like, hey guys, I'm in town. And they post it on Facebook so that they can get together. Well, no, I'm not about to be in town. You're not about to see me. You're going to have to FaceTime me. You want to see me. Okay. Even my therapist, I'm not leaving my therapist, but we're going to FaceTime. We're not driving up in here to see her. It's too much. And I want it to be too much. I want it to be too much effort to go back. I don't want any type of incentive to go back to the town that I'm currently in. You know what I mean? Um, and that's what I want. And it sucks that, let me check my phone one more time. Oh, hold on. Who messaged me? Oh my God. My friend who I'm talking about this exact issue with messaged me. What did she say? It's something you'll probably have to grapple with, but you probably won't have your niece and nephew in your life. That might change when they grow up, but even your past relationship with them is not sustainable. And the last thing you want to do is create resentment. It's really unfortunate that your family is acting this way, but you try. It's on them if you aren't in their lives, and it's the kids who have to pay. It's hard skill, but once you cut the tether, you have to walk away. Literally, we're just having this exact conversation, which is why I decided to make a video about it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put this up on my birthday. Oh God. But yeah, that's a literal thing. It's like we know what we're doing. Like when us people who go no contact with our parents, with our family, like we know what we're doing. We know how much it hurts. And we don't need other people to try and make us feel worse about it, because in your mind you couldn't think about not being best friends with your mom, so now you looking at me like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Or people say, well, what if they had to do something really messed up for you to do that? I don't owe you any type of explanation about what was done, what didn't do, what caused trauma, what didn't cause trauma, what triggered a specific type of trauma. Like, I don't have to tell you all of this information. You don't have to like that I don't talk to my family, but it ain't none of your business about the reasoning why. You just have to respect it. Like when I was talking to the boomer who she's so far away from her family, she was like, but you're going to be so far from your family. And she's like, how far are you going to be from your family? And I was like, not far enough. And she was like, oh, well, okay then. Like she had to bounce back for a minute. She was like shocked for a moment. And she had to bounce back and be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? It's just upsetting. And it's not like, I'm not going to go into much detail about specific family members. And I'm also no contact with all of my older siblings and cousins. So I don't know if this was the case when they walked away from the family all those years ago. Like, I don't know if they also struggled with not being able to see me. I don't think they did, because when they came in town, they did not want to see me. Like, I just find out from somebody else that they were in town for like several days and I didn't even get a call or a text. You know what I mean? But being the empathetic person that I am, I think about how my actions impact people all the time. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting that like my friend said, like I may not be able to have a relationship with the younger people in my family until they're an adult. And even then, they may very well resent me for my absence. And I have to be okay with the fact that these kids who are so innocent, who I had a great relationship with, who I love so much, might resent me because I could not sacrifice everything about me to be a part of the entire family. There was no like, let me come down there and get my niece and drive off and do whatever. Like it was never like that. I was gonna have to deal with everybody else in the family. And my family, they weaponize children. Like, let's be real. They do. They do. They will withhold access to children in order to get the things that they want out of people. And I'm also not that magic aunt that my family might want me to be, who just, every Christmas you just get money in the mail from your aunt with all the money and so I'm not that person, and I'm not a materialistic person. That's not how I show love. I kind of show love more through quality time, and I think that's why it hurts so much that I can't have that quality time. But even when I was in contact with my family, the amount of trauma and triggers that I had to deal with, because my family, I have a huge family and we're all enmeshed, meaning there's no boundaries in the family and everybody is stacked on top of each other, like walking distance from each other in a lot of situations. So it's a huge family. Everyone's on top of each other. You cannot see one person without seeing the other person. Like, I wanted to have a relationship with my stepmother, but I couldn't have a relationship with her without having a relationship with my dad, and he didn't want shit to do with me. So, you know what I mean? And it's like I could come around, but then I would constantly be in arguments with my mother and my sister and my brother and everybody who had an opinion about how I live my life and what I do with it and how I dress, how I look, how I talk, how I act. Like, I would have to go through all of that, and then I would have to let that break me, and then in my broken state try to reach toward a kid who's looking and they're confused and they don't understand what's going on. Like, I don't even think I could be, I don't know what the word is, but I just need to heal, man. Like, I just need to heal. And it's unfortunate, but it's like I always say, you can't heal in the place that breaks you. Like, you cannot heal in a room full of people with hammers who are waiting to tear down pieces of you. Every time you put a piece up, they're ready to knock it down. You can't heal like that. If you will always be broken in a house of people with hammers. It just is what it is. And one day I hope that I'll be able to see people in my family, the younger people in my family, who they are literally innocent in all of this, and they didn't cause anything. It's not any of their faults. You know what I mean? That the older people in their family don't know how to fucking act with each other. But I hope that one day, we can meet as adults and we can have an honest conversation about, this is where I was, where were you? You know, this is how my life went, how did yours? And I have to be okay with the fact that when we're older, they may say, no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to have a relationship with you because you were gone. I have to be okay with that. And that's the thing I'm saying. People who cut off their family, we already hurting. And it's so frustrating that other people want to make us hurt more because they don't like the decision that we made about our life that they are not a part of. You know what I mean? It's not easy. I'm not riding off into the sunset. I will say I've not had to take depression medication since I cut off my whole family. I've been able to take a lot less medication. I have not had to go to the emergency room for chronic pain since I cut off my family. I don't have episodes where I'm popping a bunch of Valium because everything hurts so much and I don't know what's going on. I'm able to listen to my body more and understand like what's going on with it. Like another story, like that person was being racist to me and my body felt something was wrong. I used to have no connection to my body whatsoever. Like, I didn't even know what felt good. I could not tell what textures were okay or what temperature was okay to have in my apartment because I felt so numb all the time. And so now I'm feeling things, whether it's sadness or happiness or whatever. I'm allowing myself to feel emotions. And that's a huge, huge thing. I'm able to cry again. I still don't do it that much, but I was able to cry like a few weeks ago. And I texted my friend, I was like, oh my God, I cried. you know, I'm able to feel things. And I would not be able to feel things if I was in a space where everybody was committed to making me feel as terrible as possible about myself. Because when you're in a space like that, you have to be numb. So I am healing, and there's a lot of things about me that is better. And even my therapist tells me, like, you don't give yourself enough credit for how far you've come just from the past year. You know what I mean? And I don't, because I'm so used to my accomplishments not meaning shit. So I don't even celebrate myself. Like I said, my birthday, or I guess when this video will be up, it will come up on the day of my birthday. I don't even think to celebrate my birthday. I don't even remember that my birthday's happening, because I never felt important or special enough to deserve to have a good thing done on my birthday, to be like, oh, it's my birthday, I'm going to do something nice. I never felt like I deserved anything like that. So I'm getting to a space where I can reconnect with myself and find out who the fuck I am, and take these big leaps, like moving so far away from my hometown. And I would not have been able to do that if I was still in that enmeshed, boundaryless relationship with the 20 or 30 people in my family that love to live on top of each other. It would have just been more and more chaos, and I would have had more breakdowns, and I would have had more um, ideations and stuff like that, like I did when I was in contact with those people. And I would have been fighting for my life every day. And I would have still been in survival mode to this day, and not able to even think about the foods that I like to eat. You know what I mean? Like, my body doesn't like certain foods. And I would have never discovered that if I was still around the people who say, you're fine, you can eat whatever, you know? So, yeah. So I don't even know what I'm. Moral of the story is, the shit ain't easy. It's not fun. I don't ride off into the sunset and live my best life and then have a significant other and kids and completely forget about everybody who I left behind. That is not what happens when you go no contact with your family. It hurts. It sucks. You are losing an entire support system, and you have to be okay with walking away, and you have to be okay with people being mad at you for walking away. You have to be okay with burning a bridge and then looking back and seeing the people that you left on the other side of that bridge. And that's hard, and it's necessary. And one day when that bridge is rebuilt, they may cross it and burn the bridge behind themselves as well. You just never know. But that's what I want to talk about, because I was just emotional about it, man. I was just like, man, I'm just missing out on all these parts of their life, and it sucks. Like, I want to be there for them, but my mother is an emotional terrorist, so I can't. It's not as easy as just showing up on graduation. Like, no, it's not like that. I can't just be in the background with my hoodie on, and then the kid sees me from across the way, and like she sees I'm there, and then I leave. Like, it's not like that. So yeah, I just want to talk to you about this stuff. Like, it hurts, it sucks. I don't like it. Happy birthday to me. um, yes, this should go up on my birthday, but if it doesn't, my birthday is the 28th of this month. Um, just so that for those of you who were curious, if anybody wants to throw me some coffee money, I keep my links to coffee in the description, and you can also join the Discord. You can follow me on Instagram. Most of my Instagram has been me posting a lot of gluten-free foods and soy-free foods, because that's what makes me happy. And you get pictures of the cats every now and then. But come in Discord. We got a lot of good channels in the Discord, talking about music, talking about neurodivergence, talking about mental health, um, talking about race and politics, sharing just anything you really feel like sharing with the group of people who are open and honest and supportive. Like, that's what we do in the Discord. So feel free to hop in there. We could do debates too. Whatever y'all down for, it's in there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble about my emotions. I wish I could be talking in past tense, but I guess I'm talking in current and future tense as well. I really appreciate it. So like I always say, take care of yourself because you deserve it. Drink your water. I got my waters over here. Eat food. Take naps. I've been trying so hard to take naps. I don't know. My brain just won't shut off. I think it's because I'm upset. But nobody can nap for you. Nobody can drink water for you. Nobody can eat for you. Nobody can exist in your body but you. So you have to do what makes your body happy. Um, but yeah, take care of yourself because you deserve it. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.